In the NFL, you can break bones, but break the dress code? That'll cost you thousands. From banned hits to banned cleats, even banned tweets, the league has rules for everything. Let's talk about what the NFL doesn't want you to do. Banned substances. The NFL has one of the strictest drug policies in professional sports. And it's not just about steroids. The banned list includes everything from performance-enhancing drugs like HGH and anabolic steroids to recreational drugs like cocaine and synthetic marijuana. Then there's a whole category of prescription drugs, like Adderall, that are banned unless you have a medical exemption. Some players have been suspended just for taking something they were prescribed simply because they didn't report it to the league first. Testing is random and happens throughout the season and off-season. If you fail, you're not just getting a slap on the wrist. You're looking at suspensions, fines, and in some cases, the end of your career. Josh Gordon is one of the biggest examples. An insanely talented receiver whose career got derailed by repeated violations of the substance policy. It wasn't just about talent. The league drew a hard line, and they stuck to it. And just to be clear, even something as common as CBD used to be banned. Only recently has the NFL started to loosen up on cannabis, but even now, it's still a gray area. The message is simple. The NFL doesn't just want you clean. They want you tested, monitored, and accountable year-round. Banned equipment. Now let's talk about equipment, because in the NFL, even what you wear is heavily regulated. First, helmets. Players aren't allowed to wear just any model they like. The league has an official list of approved helmets that meet strict safety standards. If your helmet isn't on that list, you're not stepping on the field. That's why veterans like Tom Brady had to switch models, even after using the same one for years. Then there's the cleats. Players can't just wear custom designs whenever they feel like. Unless it's a special event like My Cause, My Cleats, every pair has to follow the league's color and branding rules. Even wearing cleats with a different shade or a small logo can get you fined. Visors are another one. Clear visors are fine. But if you wear a tinted one without a medical exemption, that's a violation. The league wants to be able to see a player's eyes for safety and concussion checks. You also can't wear jewelry, hard items, or anything that could be considered dangerous. That includes watches. Odell Beckham Jr. actually wore a $350,000 watch during a game and got warned for it. Not because of the price, but because it broke the rules. And towels, gloves, arm sleeves, all of those have to be league approved. No outside logos, no messages, no modifications. The NFL doesn't just want performance, it wants uniformity. If you break that, even a small detail, it's a fine. Sometimes thousands of dollars for something as simple as the wrong socks. But before we talk about that, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Banned celebrations. Celebrating a touchdown should be simple. You score, you celebrate. But in the NFL, even that has rules. There was a time when the league was nicknamed the No Fun League. Players were getting fined for group dances, using props, or even just showing too much emotion. That's how strict it got. Certain celebrations are still banned today. You can't do anything sexually suggestive. You can't pretend to use weapons, and you can't taunt an opponent directly. Even something as basic as using the ball as a prop can get flagged if the refs think you've crossed the line. Joe Horn once pulled a hidden phone out of the goalpost padding after scoring. He was fined heavily. Ezekiel Elliott jumped into a Salvation Army kettle. He got fined too. The message was clear. Celebrate, but within their limits. The league has relaxed a bit in recent years. Now you'll see team dances, creative moves, even choreography, but it's still being watched closely. If it's over the top, offensive, or delaying the game, they'll step in immediately. The NFL wants emotion, just not too much of it. And that leads us straight into the next area the league watches like a hawk: banned hits and tackles. This is where it gets serious. The hits that are no longer allowed. Helmet-to-helmet contact is banned. If a defender lowers his head to make contact, it's a penalty. Doesn't matter if it's intentional or not. If it's dangerous, it's flagged. Then there's the defenseless receiver rule. If a player is trying to make a catch and hasn't had a chance to protect himself, you can't launch into him. It's the same with quarterbacks. Hitting them high, low, or late will get you flagged fast. And that includes roughing the passer, especially if you land with your full body weight. Clay Matthews got hit with multiple roughing the passer penalties in one season for just wrapping up quarterbacks too hard. The league's message was clear. Player safety comes first. You also can't horse-collar tackle, grabbing a player by the inside of the shoulder pads and yanking them down. It's too dangerous and has caused serious injuries. The NFL wants aggressive defense, but within limits. If you cross the line, it's not just a flag. It could be a fine or a suspension. And while we're on the topic of crossing lines, let's move to what happens off the field, specifically on the sidelines. Banned sideline conduct. The sideline isn't just for resting. It's regulated too. Coaches and players can't step onto the field unless it's during a timeout or substitution. Doing it mid-play? That's an automatic penalty, and in some cases a fine. You also can't use unauthorized technology. No texting, no live communication devices, and no filming from angles the league hasn't approved. That's exactly what led to Spygate. When the Patriots were caught videotaping opponents' signals from the wrong location, the league handed out heavy fines and even docked draft picks. And during the game, even the team's communication systems are monitored. If there's interference, like headset issues or suspicious tampering, it becomes an investigation fast. Every inch of the field, including the sidelines, is under NFL control. And they don't tolerate any behavior that breaks that structure. Now let's discuss some of the tactics teams sometimes employ during the game to gain an edge. The banned tactics. Banned game time tactics. There are certain things teams have tried that the NFL has completely shut down. You can't use substances like stickum or slippery sprays to manipulate the ball or your gloves. You can't bring in foreign objects or heat balls in cold weather. The league monitors the condition of every football used. Then there are delay tactics. Faking an injury to stop the clock is banned. If a team is caught doing it, even indirectly, they can get penalized and the player involved can be fined. Another one is having too many players on the field on purpose to block a crucial play like a field goal attempt. That kind of intentional penalty can trigger a heavier fine and doesn't stop the play from counting. And during special teams plays, you can't push a teammate from behind to block on a kick. It may seem small, but it can significantly shift outcomes. The league watches all of it. The rules are there to prevent teams from twisting the game for an advantage. Now let's shift from the field to everything that happens outside of it. And that's where things get even stricter. Banned off-field conduct. What players do off the field matters just as much as what they do on it. First, gambling. Players are not allowed to bet on NFL games, even if it's not their team. The league has suspended multiple players for it. Calvin Ridley was banned for an entire season for placing bets while he was away from the team. Even fantasy football gets restricted if there's serious money involved. Then there's insider information. Sharing injury details, playbooks, or anything that could affect betting lines is strictly banned. Social media is also monitored. Players can't post during games or leak internal team info. Anything that damages the league's image or breaks team rules can lead to fines. The NFL holds players to a high standard off the field. That includes legal issues, public conduct, and how they represent the league online. Now let's finish off with something that might seem small, but gets players fined every single week. Uniform. Banned uniform infraction. Uniform rules in the NFL are some of the most enforced and the most expensive to break. Everything a player wears has to be approved. Socks must be pulled up to a certain height. Jerseys have to be tucked in. Undershirts can't hang out, and they can't have personal messages. Even towel placement is regulated. If a player adds anything that isn't team issued or league approved, they risk a fine. And these aren't small. Players have been fined over $5,000 for just wearing the wrong colored cleats. Then there's the issue of personal messages. Players have used gear to honor family members, promote causes, or remember lost loved ones. Even then, the NFL has fined them. D'Angelo Williams was fined for wearing pink outside of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, even though it was to honor his mother. The league did introduce My Cause, My Cleats, where players can wear custom designs for 1 week. Outside of that, the uniform code is strictly enforced. No exceptions. And it's not just about image. It's about league control over branding, sponsorships, and broadcasting standards. But if you think that's intense, wait till you hear about the NFL's history with banned celebrations, because it wasn't always as strict as it is now. Every time a player breaks a rule, whether it's a hit, a uniform issue, or something said online, the league sends out a fine notice. And it's not just a warning. The fines are calculated and enforced immediately. The NFL has a fine schedule. A late hit? That's about $10,000. A second offense? It doubles. Uniform violations usually range from $5,000 to $15,000. If it's something more serious, like fighting or unsportsmanlike conduct, the number can go much higher. And these fines are public. Every Friday, the NFL releases the list of players fined that week. It's a way to show consistency and also a warning. There's also an appeal process. Players can challenge fines, but most of the time, they stand. The league rarely backs down unless there's clear evidence the ruling was wrong. All of this is part of how the NFL keeps control. It's not just about rules, it's about consequences. Players know that everything they do is being watched, measured, and judged on and off the field. The NFL is a league built on discipline, image, and control, and every rule, whether it's about hits, uniforms, celebrations, or tweets, is there to protect that. Some of these bans make perfect sense. Others, not so much. But in the NFL, it doesn't matter what you think is fair. It matters what's written in the rule book. And that rule book is always changing. What's legal today could be banned tomorrow. So, whether you're a player, a fan, or just curious, one thing's clear. In the NFL, everything has limits. Now here's the real question. Which of these bans do you think should stay? And which ones are just doing too much? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.